We're on patrol with Chula Vista police officer and drug recognition expert Raul Naranjo. He's working the night shift on a Friday. In addition to his own patrol duties, Naranjo gets called out to assist other officers who pulled someone over. He's specially trained to assess whether a driver is drug or alcohol impaired, or both. Early in his shift, he gets a call about a car that ran some stop signs.
The driver of that vehicle lost control, crashed, and took up on foot westbound from the 800 block of Broadway, and now we have officers setting up a perimeter looking for him.
In a few moments, Naranjo stops his car and gets out.
I'm right around here. He's running towards this location. Right there, these apartments there, that's where he's at, somewhere in here.
Officers quickly capture the man and haul him into the station. They suspect he's drunk, but he could be on something else. Naranjo comes in to do an evaluation. He asks the man some questions.
Okay, you can just put your back against the wall. That's fine. Before the officers started pursuing you, like, where were you coming from? Do you smoke marijuana?
I have it for my knee.
For your knee? Okay. So
While Naranjo asks his questions, he pays close attention to the man's face, his eyes, his general demeanor. That's because each drug presents its own clues.
I do smell the odor of an alcoholic beverage when you're speaking. I do see that your eyes are a little watery. They're like bloodshot. And so just based on those observations, I'm going to ask you if you're willing to perform a field sobriety test.
The man agrees, and Naranjo puts him through the paces.
You see the tip of my pen? Yes. I need you to follow the tip of my pen only with your eyes without moving your head, okay? You understand me?
Yeah.
It doesn't take long before Naranjo has seen enough.
At this moment, I'm telling you that you're also being placed under arrest for DUI. And now that you've been placed under arrest also for DUI, you have an obligation under the implied consent law to provide a chemical sample for testing.
The suspect gets his blood drawn. Naranjo asks the lab to check it for alcohol and marijuana. A blood test is the gold standard for determining if a person has alcohol or other drugs in their system. But blood tests are not done in the field, and there's no equivalent of a breathalyzer test for drugs either. The San Diego Police Department recently trotted out a device they say could make identifying drug-impaired drivers a little easier. It's called a Draeger 5000. It's a screening device that tests saliva for the presence of drugs. The machine can identify 7 of the most widely abused drugs, but it doesn't indicate the amount that's in a person's system. San Diego police officer and drug recognition expert John Perdue admits the Draeger isn't a perfect tool.
A good example would be THC. Just because it detects THC doesn't mean the person's under the influence of it. It's still based on what the DRE or the investigating officer sees during an evaluation.
So for the time being, stopping drug-impaired drivers is primarily a judgment call. Naranjo says he's pulled people over that refuse to answer questions or even look at him. They merely hand him their driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance.
Sometimes I'm given very small window of opportunity to get all dialed in and make a decision on whether this person that I stopped is impaired for the purposes of being out here, not driving his vehicle safely and endangering our members of our community.
As more drug drivers hit the road, there just aren't enough officers like Naranjo and Perdue around. Only about 1% of police officers nationwide are certified drug recognition experts. Kenny Goldberg, KPBS News.